Welcome all as we congregate to the greatest toy line in community, ever growing, ever changing. As we collect and adapt these figures to our own imaginations and embrace the fun, there's much to learn, especially if you're new to Mythics. Hey friends, welcome to another episode of New to Mythics, episode 37. This is actually a part 2. I wanted to get my good buddy Dylan back. I had asked him to come on. We had kind of talked about it. I think, was it right after Legion's Con? Might have been right after or during, or anyways, I think I just said in passing, like, hey man, I need to get you on. And we had talked about it before. And so I had him on like maybe a week after Legion's Con, and I still was not feeling the best. So I kind of asked him like, hey man, can we wrap it up? I was not feeling good. I wanted to go to bed. So, and I felt bad because I wanted to still talk to him about his customs. He had a lot of customs that he wanted to share. Things that he had been working on, and also I wanted to get his experiences at Legion's Con, and what he thought of the wave and stuff like that, and the rumor that he might be one of the long lost Echeveria's sons. So I'd like to get some clarification on that. Gosegwe is my twin brother, so that would make Dylan my uncle, or I'd be his uncle actually. So he'd be my young nephew. Dylan's like, what? No, that doesn't math. But let's have him on here, and let's get this show started. How you doing, my man?
Good. How are you?
Much, much better. Thank you.
It's very good to hear. Very good to hear.
Did I don't remember. Did you got sick, or you didn't get sick?
I did get sick. I think we talked Tuesday of last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago. It was the week after. I got sick that Wednesday.
Yeah, it
was after
Legion's
Con, and then I had to go back to work Sunday. But I did get sick. I got COVID, and
it was terrible. I had such a great time. Like, I just powered through. I soldiered through, but man, I felt awful.
Me too.
I'm glad that there was no irreparable harm to anybody. CB is safe. I messaged him. I'm sure a lot of people messaged him like, "Are you okay, Cornboy? Cornboy is safe. The treasure. The man is intact. So we're good." But yeah, I apologize. I wanted to keep going, but I didn't have it in me. So I like right after, I'm like, Dylan, you got to come back. I feel bad, and thank you for facilitating and coming back sooner than later. That way, your last show is still kind of fresh on people's minds. So last time we were talking, you were showing, or we were showing some slides about some customs that you've been working on. You're really into, I remember you were saying you're really into gorillas and simians and stuff like that. And you had gone to the zoo, I think you said, and was just interested in monkeys and figures of monkeys. So I have some slides here of some ones that you had worked on. Now this is from the last,
sitting right here.
Yeah, this is from the last Godzilla movie, right? With Godzilla versus Kong. That movie.
Yeah, so
that was a good movie.
I love that movie. I saw it 13 times at the movies.
Holy schmagolies.
And I bought it on digital. I bought the DVD. I bought the Blu-ray and all that jazz. King Kong is my favorite thing ever.
Well, I love how he's smart. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like they didn't make him dumb. They didn't make Godzilla dumb. They made them kind of just smart, and King Kong is kind of savage, but he's still, you know what I mean? He knows how to use the weapons and the tools and stuff. So I thought that was a cool thing. Like, they gave respect, I think, to both both monsters. So I thought that was cool.
Absolutely. I could kind of go into this figure as a whole if you want me to.
Sure.
So it's it's the SH Monster Arts Kong 2024 figure. With I took the arms off of the Haya Godzilla versus Kong from the from the elbow down, and I took the peg. This was just a regular mushroom peg, and I took the ball joint that plugs into Kong's arm, and I dremeled that down, drilled a hole into this, and set that in. So now it still has the articulation, and it just fixes the proportions, and it kind of makes it more accurate to the movie.
Now, I have a friend, his name is Daniel Benjamin, and he's not in the Mythic world. His thing is Fig Arts and Mafex, but I kind of befriended him in a chat group that we have. And this guy will take his Mafex and Fig Arts apart and rebuild. Like he rebuilt the Mighty Thor, the Natalie Portman, Natalie Portman figure. Like he completely restructured that figure using all kinds of different pieces. And I'm like, dude, are you out of your Vulcan mind? Like these things are expensive. Like my thought is when you do stuff like that, like what you said, how you dremeled the, like, what if you dremel something too far? Like what if
I've done it? It happens. Yeah,
doesn't
you
it
gotta
render
start
it, like,
over.
useless? I mean, what can you fix something that's been?
It depends on what it is.
Yeah.
Like I've definitely I think I've made like at least 10 of these guys at this point.
Yeah.
And sometimes the ball joint tolerances are a little too tight.
Yeah.
So then you dremel out the socket a little too much, and then it's too loose, and then it's this back and forth with what tightening method is going to work best, and this isn't working, and now I got to fix this, and whoops, I drilled a hole through the whole thing, and got to know how to sculpt. You always keep super glue handy.
Yeah.
Trick I use
trial and error, and
pretty much.
You learn how to, I guess, finesse things. But I thought that was cool. At harkening back to our last conversation, you were at Chubsy Wubsy, and you were there like fixing toys that people had returned.
Was that just jogging my memory? That was the gargoyle, right?
I think so. Yeah.
And
then there was a Transformer too that you were.
Yes.
Was it AC or I forget her name?
RC, I think.
RC, yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Like you were like messing with it, like repairing it or transforming it to see if it was really broken or something. Like I just thought that was cool. Like you're kind of like an expert at toys. And like I guess taking them apart and putting them back together and stuff kind of makes you proficient in that stuff and makes you not afraid to take things apart. Like that would be my fear, is like I take it apart and then it's like rendered useless. Like I can't.
Like just now, anyone else, this would scare someone out of playing with a toy. But it happens. They're ball joints for a reason.
Yeah.
I think half the reason that I'm so open to doing this kind of stuff is because, going back to Bionicle from our last conversation, taking stuff apart and putting it back together, and in that case, quite literally popping things apart and together and all that, and kind of comes from almost the necessity of things breaking and trying to figure out how to fix them. Without having to buy a new one, which will bring me to this guy, which, for anyone not I guess I'll say in the know, it's the SH Monster Arts, also King Kong from the Peter Jackson movie from 2005. This figure came out in 2012, I believe, or 20. 13, 14.
Jeez. It's
been
a while.
Yeah, it was like $60 when it came out, and goes for anywhere from $200 to $400 now.
Wow.
This figure was notorious for the joints in the elbow breaking. Because it was this really thin plastic. It was a ring that would go around a peg, and it would just snap. So I've actually taken this guy apart, and I've given him new ball joints.
How did you do? Did you build it, the ball joints, or how did you?
Yeah, so it's I think the brand is Hobby Base. They were on Amazon, but I feel like they may have been discontinued because I haven't been able to get new ones in a while. But it comes on a runner like a model kit, but it's just all different size ball joints. I wish I had one right here. But I kind of use that for everything. This guy also, it's another Monster Kong with it's another very expensive figure. This Maurice from Planet of the Apes goes for like the cheapest I've seen lately is $200. And before I knew what it was going for, I took him apart and put him on the Strichartz. Same Kong as this guy, same body. It just took the overlays and everything, and all that. But like I had to build joints on him to get the legs from. It was a NECA figure, so I had to take the leg and cut out the hinge and put in a ball joint and attach it to a ball joint and all that. So trial and error.
I think like with you and the Bionicles and like getting to know these figures, like I feel like the construction and the engineering of these figures intimately, so that kind of takes away the fear of the unknown of like, you know what I mean, like a lot of my figures I don't really fully understand the construction, so it's like I don't want to push them too far because I don't know like their full abilities maybe, or their full range of motion, or even how the ball joints are placed in there, or the restrictions or the joints. So I think that once you kind of take them apart, then you kind of lose the fear of not being able to, put them back together or repair them or fix them, or you know what I mean? So I think that's probably my fear, is that I don't understand, and like your thing is that you understand the engineering of these figures and how they work, so there's no fear in putting them back together, taking them apart.
It kind of goes back to last week with talking about Mezcos. Here's just a Gomez that I took the claws off, and it definitely does help to kind of get to know the figures that you're buying. It's kind of the best way that I would say to do it. I totally understand how nerve-wracking it could be to take a, at retail $120 figure. But I see it as a necessary evil.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're using it for a custom, like taking off Spider-Man's clothes, it doesn't make it less valuable because you're making a custom out of it. You know what I mean? So like people that buy a Mezco Spider-Man wanting it to be Spider-Man, that's one thing. If I take off the suit, it's not Spider-Man anymore. But like for you, that's like a blank slate, or a customizer, that's like a blank buck that you have to build whatever you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all that is to say, kind of just looking at customizing if you want to, but you haven't before. Obviously, Mythic is probably the best line to do that with.
Yeah.
But, hair dryer, hot water, that's a fun one. That, obviously, the Four Horsemen didn't make that part. So that is a very intricate X-Acto knife, slice off the fingers, and it was, so the hand is like this. I chopped that finger off, and I cut trying to see the best way to show you. This part of the finger's off. So there was nothing there, and then I swapped it. So when you look at it flipping the bird, how when your hand there's a space here. Before this finger was down, so I had to cut that off and put it so it could do that. So it looks simple, but it's not.
Yeah. And you had to do it 4 times.
Yes, I did. I have done it 4 times. I have to get a couple more done. Brett gave me a baggie full of hands to do that. So I need to make like 15 pairs of those. But I have fun doing it, so.
He sent me a bag of when Lee J came out.
Mm.
He's like, I hate these human heads. So I'm like, I'll take them. So he sent me a bag of the Lee J heads, and he threw like a Magnus head in there too. I'm like, thank you. That's solid gold. But he's the best. But he doesn't care about, he's skeletonizing all his figures, so he doesn't care about fleshy parts.
Yeah.
He just wants the bones and the armor and stuff like that. So but he's an OG. He's a great dude.
Yeah, absolutely. You move us along because I'll just keep.
Okay, let's see what else. Let's see the other slides we've got here.
Okay.
So what is this body from? Is that a Mezco?
No, that's Storm Collectibles.
Okay.
It's I can't think of the character or the property or.
Is it a fighting
anything. It's one. Yeah, it's one of those fighting characters. It's not Mortal Kombat. It's
like King of Fighters or Street Fighter or
it's. I have one of the other ones I sent you a picture of. It's this Frankenstein's creature that I made before the Figura.
Wow, you made that. I don't know if I have that. Let me see if I can find it.
No, in there.
I don't know if I.
If it's not a big deal. I have it here.
This one is cool right here.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Oh, he's behind me there.
Yeah, that is sweet, dude. I love. Where did you get the soft goods at?
It's Red Death.
The soft goods parts are the robe is?
It's the inner robe I cut off that was like attached with strings. I just snipped that off, and I cut it down the middle in the crotch area, and then so it could like open around the legs. But it's a Valiant Knight with with the skeleton head and wings.
No, I didn't. I guess I didn't add that one, but I'm checking out all your swigs now too.
Oh, I have this one sitting here with me.
That's awesome. Let me see.
I can go further into detail on any of them you want to, if you'd like.
How did you do the face on that?
So it's Swig's head from the mouth down, and an orc head from Anthony Houseel that I took a sanding wheel or the cutter wheel, and I just buzzed it in half and sculpted the whole mouth and everything. And my mid-transformation Swig to have him transforming into the big one. That was right.
So how many did you bring to
9?
You didn't bring any?
9.
Oh, no, I thought you said none.
No, 9.
So you brought 9 for the 250. You brought 9.
Yep.
Holy crap, dude!
It was the Hellboy, a bunch of random ones that were just head swaps.
I love the story with the Hellboy. That was so awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was great.
So I guess let's kind of segue into your Legions Con experience since we're talking Legions Con. Yeah. So were you there for intern? I don't remember.
No, I wasn't. I didn't get into intern, and nothing worked out. I couldn't get anyone to let me tag along, so I didn't get to do it.
If you in, then I would have, man. But
I appreciate that.
I had made a bet. I had made a deal with Brett that if I get picked, you're going. If he gets picked, I'm going. So, Have you gone before?
No.
No.
Unfortunately, I have not. Last year, since it was my first year going to Legion's Con, I didn't know about intern.
Mm-hmm.
And this year it just didn't work out. I didn't think I'd get the time off, and I didn't put in for it. And then by the end of the year, I knew I would have the day off, and it just didn't work out.
I think you will get it eventually, man. You just got to keep trying. And people,
yeah, I'm gonna put in for it and hope for the best.
Yeah. So what day did you get there? What day
Thursday.
were you got there Thursday?
So I got there Thursday. My plan either way was to just go on Thursday. I almost went Wednesday, but I didn't have anywhere to stay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so close that it really didn't make a difference. I ended up actually picking Joe Gonzalez up from the airport.
Mm-hmm.
So I got him at like 7 a.m. We went to the hotel right before everyone left for intern. So we kind of got to say hi to everyone and hang out and all that until everyone left. And then we hung out pretty much just at the hotel all day.
Yeah.
With everyone that was there that wasn't at intern.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. How did you know Joe? Just from the different shows that he was on, or
mostly from shows and the Cabal, and just we happened to, because I had been on Off-World 2.0, we had done that a couple of times, and I had just said in our Off-World chat, if anyone needs a ride from the airport, I'll be coming in on Thursday, and he said he needed a ride, so.
That guy, he's another one that's just an amazing human being. Like, it's crazy how many nice, genuine people there are in this community. It's like so weird how many nice people there are, you know?
For sure. Especially with, I don't want to be negative or anything, but with all the other toy communities,
right?
There's just so much negativity, and everyone hates each other. And there's always, well, you're stupid if you like this, and there's no one has time for that.
There's no civility, you know. And I don't know why people are like that these days. I guess because it's anonymous, basically. But
yeah, pretty much.
That's kind of why I like. It's funny because like in the Cabal, somebody will be saying, "Oh yeah, me and William went to," and I'm like, "William is, you know, like which William?" And they'll be like, "Jernowski," and I'm like, "Oh, that way, okay." Or William, you know, or or Everett, Everett Miller. Oh, okay, yeah. So it's like I love that people kind of know each other, even if you've never met. Or, you know, maybe they've been on this show or that show or whatever. And like, you know, you kind of know them a little bit that way.
Yeah.
Or you see their name in the Cabal and it's like, oh, that's, you know, that's Quetzalcoatl, or that's, you know, oh, that's,
and
you know what I mean? So I love that, you know, and I think with all the huge influx, like there's a lot of new names that I don't recognize. And that kind of, it doesn't make me sad, but it kind of like, it's almost like the class that we were in kind of graduated and now there's new classes of new people that, you know, and it's like, that's okay. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm happy with all the people that I know. And if these people like are active in the community, then I'll get to know them too. You know what I mean? It's like, I can never have enough friends. I just hope that, you know, the influx of people will be as cool and good natured and kind and generous as a lot of the other people in the community. So I hope.
I feel like as long as all of us that were in the before, kind of like with the dragon coming and them being at Comic-Con and Toy Fair again, word kind of spreading a little faster than it has been.
Right.
I'm kind of hoping everyone that was already friends and knew each other is kind of going to stick together, even if some of this not so fun stuff from other toys finds itself in the Cabal.
Yeah. I mean,
and,
it's bound to happen.
Yeah,
but
but we
it could
have
be.
a fantastic team of
Yes.
people in the cabal that will take care of that.
Yes. Right.
So, you know,
And
it's
and I think, like, when you first started to be in the cabal, not you per se, I'm saying you as everyone, like, everyone was new at one point, and you kind of get surprised initially sometimes, like, like, what is this for? What is this for? And, like, you're waiting for the snark, you're waiting for the sarcastic, and sometimes there might be a little funny whatever in there, but it's generally like a genuine helpful answer. You know what I mean? Did you mute yourself? You're muted. Did you do that on
I
purpose?
did. My parents just came home, and I wasn't sure if they were
Oh,
gonna knock
sorry. You can,
on.
yeah, you can remute. That's okay.
Oh no, you're good.
I wasn't sure if you knew that you were muted or not, but
Yeah,
so hopefully the people that are new will kind of see the culture that is there already, and
yeah.
will, be happily surprised at, the good naturedness of most of the community. So, and then they'll
Mm,
they'll also be part of that and perpetuate it, is my
yeah.
hope. So we'll see.
I'm sure that's what's gonna happen, and everything will will stay the same probably
Yeah.
for a while. Um,
So you
yeah.
you spent Thursday, and did you hang out with certain people? Did you just kind of bounce around the lobby? Because nothing was really open yet, right? It was kind of like, people, I imagine, were setting up or getting ready to set up, or
Yeah, Joe and I hung out the entire day, pretty much, and we kind of floated around from. At one point, we were by the TV where they had the dragon set up and kind of like the entrance to where everything was,
Mhm.
but there was no one around. And they actually had some conference for it was like a Chase Bank thing or something
Boring.
in yeah in one of the rooms, and they were like, "You can't be down here." We were like, "Oh, well, they have 12 hours to figure that out because tomorrow
Yeah.
is tomorrow's a big day." But so we couldn't go down there to like look at anything. But we hung out there. We ended up going out to a little diner like 10 minutes away that was really good. Um, Jersey has a lot of good diners, you know?
I need to explore more. I need to get out
Yeah,
there. Me and
yeah.
my buddy Matt Van Fossen and his son went to, it was called like 1950s Diner, and it was tiny. It was in the
Mm,
town of Westfield, I think. And burgers were not super big. Like, I like
yeah,
a big, beefy burger, but the
yeah.
burgers were kind of small, but man, it tasted really good. But
Huh,
it was nice to get out. We went there, and we went to a little comic shop in the area,
cool.
just to get out and get a little outside flavor.
Yeah,
Get away from the con for a few.
yeah.
Um,
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. But so yeah, we did that. Then we came back and we were hanging out in the lobby with. I feel bad because I'm not gonna remember everyone that was
oh
there,
no.
but Anthony Halseal was there at some point. Uh, Chris Ferrone was there.
Does he sell stuff? Does he have a show? Is he?
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? That doesn't
It
help.
was it was a bunch of people that I didn't really know that well in the
Yeah,
first place. But
yeah,
when they said their names, I was like, "Oh yeah, I know who you are."
yeah. I know that guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know them.
we were there. Maynard was there.
Yeah,
Um,
the Rust King.
yeah, Maynard was there.
Now, did they do it on Thursday? Because I thought it was funny. Like, they did it for me when I got there. Like, as soon as I walked in, they're like "Schmurmer," or like people walk in, they'd be like "Hey," and I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, I
And then I
think
started doing it. Like, when someone new, like a meal came, I was like,
yeah,
"Hey, hey,
yeah.
hey."
I
Like, whenever somebody that comes,
mm,
it's like a welcome. It's like, yes, I see you in person. You're here.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
As the day went on, that happened more and more. Because when we first got there, everyone that was leaving for intern was still there.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone, it was loud. It was like Legion's Con crowd already,
Yes.
even though it was like
There's some
a
hustle and
tenth of the
bustle.
people. Yeah, it was like 30 people maybe.
Yeah.
But everyone was saying hi and trying to catch each other before they all left and everything. Then when they all left, it was kind of just me and Joe. And Andy the Collector was there. He hung out with us for a little bit.
My bro. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it started to pick up as people were coming in, and Anthony came in with all his stuff that he had to set up, and everyone was starting to show up and check in, and then by 4 o'clock everyone was back and everything was in full swing, kind of.
Yeah.
4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, because I mean, at that point, like it's starting to ramp up. Like Friday morning is G-Con, so like it's getting real. It's getting real.
Yeah.
People are starting to come in. People are starting to fly in, and I don't know. There's just this excitement. I think, like, when I saw you, when I saw like people like Ryan and Amber, when I started seeing like Emil and like people that I mean, I've seen you guys, but like when I see you in person again, it's just like, yes, like it's so exciting to see like all of these people that you interact with during the year, or maybe you don't. Like I haven't really talked to Ryan and Amber too much. Like I've sent like comments or whatever, but like to see everybody again, like to see my boy Brett again, it's just like there's so much excitement. Or maybe it's me, maybe I'm a simpleton, but I just get such a charge of seeing us all in one place,
Me too. And we kind of talked about this in the last episode. I'm a bit of a wallflower, which is crazy because I talk a lot. Once you get me going, I don't stop. But when it comes to big social situations, I'm definitely more so a bit of I'm going to hang back here.
Yeah.
And kind of just talk to the people that are around me. And if I
the ones that
become someone's best friend,
Because I think when it was me, you, Ryan, Amber, and Brett, like you didn't really say anything, and I kind of I'm like, who is this kid? I'm like, is this like Ryan's little brother or something? Amber's brother? Who is this kid? And eventually like they started to leave or do their own thing, and there was just me and you. So I'm like, I'm talking to this kid. I don't know who he is, but he seems like a good guy, and so we became friends. So the cabal and the community, it kind of helps like bridge those gaps and help people like connect, even if it's hard to do so. So at least you're with Joe, and people kind of gravitate towards Joe, and people love you too. So the people that know you think you're an awesome dude.
Thank you. I definitely this community has definitely helped me come out of my shell a lot. Like like when we met, it is a very safe space, and something I love that I feel like people do talk about it a lot, but it doesn't come up a lot, like publicly, I would say, is mental health talks and checking in on everybody and
absolutely
making sure everyone's comfortable and okay, and hey, can you not do A, B, and C, or I would feel better, all that. It's just something that doesn't happen anywhere else.
Right.
And, I've had real life friends be like, no, come on, man, stop being a baby.
Yeah.
It's like, no, first of all, we're all adults and everyone has feelings. And this community, I'll say 95% is if you're uncomfortable or if you need something, multiple people will be willing to help you.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's most of the reason why I think everyone stays in this community as long as they do, and permanently stay in this community. And it is unfortunate that there are some people that are like, this just isn't for me. It's I've heard people call us a cult.
Yeah, I've heard that.
you know,
that's just not, that's people, I think, not understanding.
Yeah.
Just
it's like
general good naturedness. It's not a normal thing. But like my friend Fernando said, like, this community makes me want to be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
Absolutely.
think that's something like, my friend Steve-O, I don't really know him that well.
Yeah.
Steve-O Beg. And he had posted right before Legion's Con, or during it, no, I think it was before, he was wanting to trade stuff. Like, he had brought some like parts, and in there he had where's she at? He had an Iron Knight, and I was like, dude, I need an Iron Knight, and he's like, it's yours. And I'm like, what? I go, I'll trade you. I brought some stuff, and I never was able to connect with him to show him what I had. And so I messaged him today. I was like, hey, Steve-O, I'm sorry, I forgot. I don't want you to think that I'm taking your kind, because he's like, here, take the figure.
Yeah.
And I didn't want him to feel like I took him for granted. So I sent him a list of like Mythics. I'm like, here, pick, what you want for trade. And he's like, no, man. He goes, I just take it. I had a great weekend, and, I'm paying it forward, and, you pay it forward. And I'm like, dude, I try to pay it forward whenever I can, but thank you, man. I'll buy you dinner next time I see you. And, thank you. But that type of just, it perpetuates, you know what I mean? It's like somebody did something good for me or generous to me. So whenever someone, hey, I wish I had this, I'm going to send it your way if I can. If I have it, if I have an extra, if I don't care about it, here, take it, and that's just my way of paying the community, or this mini universe back.
Yeah.
Just, and it just, I don't know. I love that about our community, that there's so many.
Absolutely. I see it literally every single day. What other toy community has people going on someone's Facebook timeline and just saying happy birthday?
Right.
No one does that in, the G.I. Joe classified group or the
just saying
Transformers group.
Wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We reach out to people that aren't part of the community to say happy birthday. It's awesome. It's part of what we do.
Yeah. Like my fiance, she's like, I've never had so many people say happy birthday to me. And I'm like, that's part of the community. If you're semi part of it, or you're with me, then you're part of it. And it's just that good naturedness of, it's like you're being open, you're being vulnerable. But not in a way that's weak. I don't know if that makes sense. It's
like, for sure. It's humanity.
You can show your emotions, and you can say thank you and appreciate it. And, you can be like, hey, I need a mental health minute. Like, I noticed a lot of people, they would go upstairs and they would go in their room and recharge social batteries, and then come down. Like, that's a real thing. It's like, that's totally understandable. Like me, I'm crowd surfing on top. Like, I'm bumping from, people to people, because that feeds me. But like other people, they need that space. Like, this is overwhelming. There's too many people. There's too much going on. I need to go upstairs and recharge. I'm like, I totally get that. I understand. It's different people, different, but I think everyone is respectful of that, like, hey, are they okay? Is everything all right? Oh yeah. They're just they're going up to their room for a while, and they're just going to recharge or get some sleep, and then come back. Okay, that's cool. Like,
like, kind of bouncing back to the people who aren't really a part of this, but that we all say things to just because it's who we are.
Right.
My mom does not care about toys or any of that stuff. When I show her stuff, she's like, oh, but are you saving money? It's like, come on. But
yeah, sure. $20.
Yeah. People have been, so there was this little joke and I may have mentioned it last time, I don't remember. They started calling me Wolfie with my hair, and there's this whole joke.
Like, I think Jeremy DeWitt was saying,
Jeremy. Because I look like Van Halen's son, Wolfgang.
Oh, Wolfgang. Okay.
So Jeremy and Amber started calling me Wolfie. And it followed me into all these groups that I'm in and all the calls that I've been doing and live streams and stuff.
Yeah.
So I told Jeremy, I was like, you should go into random pictures on my timeline and just comment Wolfie Wolfie. And he did. And he commented on a picture that I posted for my mom's birthday this year. My mom's birthday's in March.
Yeah.
And wow. I've been getting notifications. Yeah.
He took some time.
He went far. But people have been commenting happy birthday on my picture for my mom in November, now December.
Because it refreshed that.
Which is, it's how the algorithm works. But I just think it's so funny and it's so cool that people that barely know me are saying happy birthday to my mom because Jeremy said something, and now it's just the community we're part of.
Yeah, and it's not a mean thing. It's not a ridiculing. It's there might be some ribbing, there might be a little teasing or whatever, but it's not like in a place of meanness. And that's what I love too, is that it's not like if I do, it's someone I don't know. If there's meanness in the community, it's someone I don't know. Or if it is someone I know, it's someone that has recurred before. Like there's been a few people, like I just read this guy's today, a post about Marley not glowing in the dark. And he said something negative, and it seems like every time I see his posts or his comments, they're negative about the student.
There's a couple of people that are like that.
Yeah, and it's just like those names I remember. Like I don't remember a lot of names, but people that are positive or people that repeat, like, everyone knows a Joe Russo, everyone knows a Curtis or Jesse or but like I'll remember the people that are negative. And that's not being like, I don't think it's being a gatekeeper. I don't think it's white knighting or culting, but it is like noticing an irregularity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, if that person is continually negative, like I take offense because you're talking about something that I love. You're talking about a studio filled with good-natured people that I care about. So like I take issue. Like I'm not being a white knight. I'm being defensive about my friends. You know what I mean? Like Chris and Diego and George, like I consider these guys my friends. And so if you're talking about them, then you're talking about, some people I care about, not just the company.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I went off on a tangent, but
it's good to bring it up every once in a while because
let's get back to sorry, I'm a sidetracker, dude. So let's get back to Legion's Con. So Thursday night, fun. People are coming back. You know what I did notice is that I didn't notice, no one was bringing their nights out on Thursday night. So like the people that I did not see anyone. I think Thursday I didn't see anyone. Maybe like later in the weekend I did see people with Armory, but I didn't see any Armory stuff like Thursday night.
Do you remember what time you got there on Thursday?
Like Thursday after intern?
Oh, you were at intern, right?
Yes.
So you came back with everyone. Right around the time everyone was starting to come back, people had them in the lobby. Oh, but that's when everyone realized how hard it was to actually put them together because they fixed all the tolerances. So everyone was probably going up to their room and, I'll just put it together later.
Yeah.
And then no one brought them down.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was waiting to see, like, I remember Valiant Night last year, like people were having Valiant Nights and everywhere. I would walk by, and I don't know if it's a delayed satisfaction or gratification thing, but I'm like, I'm not opening anything. Like I'm waiting until I get home. And it's not because I don't want to share. It's just, I don't want to mess with lost pieces. I don't want to have to put it back together. I would rather just mess with it when I get home. So like the Valiant Night, I didn't open until I was at home, but it was cool to see people opening their stuff and showing it, at the tables, checking out the figures and stuff. But yeah, I noticed I didn't really see any. So you saw Thursday night people had brought out
their armory. It must have been, I'm trying to remember, because it was probably around 6 o'clock maybe.
Okay.
Or what time does intern end? 4, 5?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was about 5 or 5:30. It was starting to die down.
Okay. So I want to say around 6.
Yeah.
Ryan and Amber and Eric LeBron had come back, and Ryan had all this stuff out, and we were like looking at him, and he was letting us all look, and I was like, "Do you want me to pop these together?" And he goes, "No, I'm going to do that with the hairdryer." I was like, "All right." So I didn't really get to play with any of them until the next morning, and kind of goes back to the customizing thing. I don't really care. So I was just muscling them together, and I was like, I need to have something to play with. Yeah. And because kind of back to the customizing, once you know how a joint works, you kind of know how to maneuver to put it together, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And like, I think with these figures, like pegs into holes, you're not really gonna mess it up. Like it's pretty basic, maybe a joint that's frozen, like an elbow joint or something, or a leg joint, it might be frozen or need some, but yeah, with these guys, like I had bought 5 Armory Knights for my stepson, and when he sent me the money, I'm like, dude, I'll pick them up for you, but I ain't paying for all that. But I built them for him, and I had sent them when I got home, but I told him, I said, get a cup of very hot water, and dunk the legs and the arms before you and it just takes like a minute, and it's just gonna make it so much easier to put them together.
I've definitely kind of leaned more towards hairdryer, which totally irrelevant point, but I find with Mythics specifically, a hairdryer works a lot better.
I don't have a dryer in my house.
You gotta go.
You have a hairdryer, I'm sure.
Right? I took my mom's hairdryer, and now she bought a new one, so I could just keep the one in my room.
What is the advantage of a hairdryer over hot water?
More control.
Okay.
Which
you could get into a little spots.
Like with a Mezco, I would say, which it's tough because it's a Mezco, and when a Mezco looks like this and it has soft goods on it, you don't want to get this wet. So it's kind of tough.
That's a problem for sure.
Mezcos are super difficult to take apart because crotch shot, their hips,
big in you. Yeah.
The way their hips work, I don't know if I'll be able to get it, but you could tell it's flexing. You could tell the barbell is bending.
Yeah.
And their joints are so, like, I guess honed in maybe, that they're specific for not meant to come apart.
Yeah.
Little tip, get a plastic Ziploc bag, airtight it, and then put it in hot water, and then these come apart like butter.
Oh, okay. I never thought about that.
Which, hot water, that's the other thing with Mythic, is with hot water, you get so much more heat because of the water kind of being around everything that it kind of worries me with the paint. It shouldn't be a problem, but just in case, I'd rather use the hairdryer.
No, I also thought about that too.
Yeah. I also don't have a microwave downstairs. I live in the second floor, or the bottom floor of my house. And if I'm, customizing, I don't want to drop everything down here and go and get hot water and have to wait 2 minutes. And so it's kind of just like whatever's easier right now, which is also kind of how I'm customized. Is if I know something's going to work, I'm still going to try to find to do it an easier way, which, sometimes leads to things breaking. And
Well, I think with Mezco though, it's like you can't really see the joints, and you can't really, because of the, a lot of them have the clothes sewed, over the body, so you can't really. So like, I never really pushed my Mezcos too hard because I don't know the tolerance. Like I can't really, because the clothes kind of hinder the articulation so much that I'm afraid to push it too. Like I just opened my Dick Tracy Mezco, and I was trying to move his legs up like into a kicking. And first off, Dick Tracy probably is not going to kick anybody, but I just wanted to try. But like, I didn't push it too hard because the clothes kind of prevented that articulation. But it's like, I don't know if it's the joints that are resisting or if it's the clothes. So I don't want to push it too hard. But like with you, if you take the clothes off, then you can see the joints and you can see the stress that you're putting upon.
Which I would be able to tell you with Dick Tracy if I knew what body it was on. But chances are it's because of the body, not the soft goods.
Really?
It could depend on what soft goods it is, but like with this guy with the tight jeans, I can get him into Spider-Man.
Oh, wow.
I mean, this is the body that their Spider-Man figures are on, but I could get this guy into some crazy poses, and that's with 2 layers of shirt, leather, jeans, everything.
Wow.
And
let me grab
these guys will move.
Let me grab him.
Yeah. I also, now that I customize Mezcos, I'm not afraid to tear stitching. So I've definitely ripped out a couple of.
Can you fix it? You can fix the things that you.
I mean, you could. I don't usually because I'm lazy. But
I love Dick Tracy. This figure.
That looks so cool. I want to track him down.
I wish they would do another one just by himself. Like Flat Top is awesome, but it just makes it more expensive to. So they're the soft goods, like these suits that they're having these figures come with, are just amazing. I know this is a Mythic show, but right now I'm showing this off. But yeah, this is this is the leg. Like I'm pushing up. That's it, man.
Really?
Like, there's something pushing.
I wonder.
Like that's it, dude. Like he's not.
That could just be the body it's on.
Yeah,
some of their older figures were definitely a bit harder to move.
And I don't want to, but I know there's that, like the knees are moving fine. Like he can do this with his knee. Like it looks like double jointed to me. Like that knee can go all the way back.
Like Conan,
it just doesn't go forward.
Actually, no. Conan will move all the way forward. Some of their older bodies don't have as much clearance.
That Conan is such a great figure, dude.
Yeah, this is the second one that came with the blue shirt.
Yeah, I have that one, and I have
King
Conan.
Awesome.
Those are so. Those are. If people can pick up that Conan figure, do it, because it is an amazing figure. But okay, so let's get back to Legion's Con, man.
I have like 5 minutes.
You have 5 minutes. You got to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. We've been talking for an hour already, so we'll have to do.
You can always do part 3.
We'll have to do part 3. Well, thank you so much, man. Let's wrap it up so you're not having to hustle out of here.
Yeah, I can do a couple of more questions if you wanted to. I'm just letting you know.
I just was wondering. So, what did you think? Like, what was your favorite character in the Reign of the Beast?
The Cackler, 100% the Cackler.
Really? See, I'm like kind of on the Cackler.
I've been asking for werewolves since before I collected Mythics.
Yeah.
And that's perfect. I leaned over to, I think it was Rich or John from, I forget.
Yeah, I remember seeing you do that. I was right behind you.
Yeah. I leaned over and I was like, Veteran William, cry your heart out. Because that figure is amazing, but with everything, if they could pull off these double joints, That's going to be the best werewolf figure on the market.
Oh man,
hands down.
like the articulation is going to be
and
ridiculous.
That's what I want. Veteran William is awesome and he moves great, but everything is single jointed,
right?
Which does kind of hinder it. Like a werewolf, and we don't know yet. Oh man, I need to get one of those. How far can he look up? Is my question.
That's all he can't. No, he doesn't. His head doesn't move at all.
That's my problem with Veteran William too. Is they can't look up.
No head movement at all. It goes like this. Like that's it.
Yeah, that's my problem. And I hope they find a way to, now that they're doing hinged necks, I hope they can find a way to make the cackler look up, because we need a werewolf that can do this. Yes. And the only werewolf figure that I have that can do that is the Kessler wolf. Mm-hmm. And that's not like your traditional werewolf. That's the Hellhound.
Yeah, I can't wait until like an actual production figure of it gets in Trevor's hands so he could take pictures of it.
Which, if it wasn't for the cackler, it would be Leodisius, because big chunky lion.
Absolutely.
And I've been, it's the furry body. I've been asking for a furry body, same thing, for as long as I've been in the line. That'll be my Sasquatch when that comes out, and I'll strip the armor off and I'll find a chest and it'll be my Sasquatch, and that's how it's gonna go.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you on the show, man. I'll have to have you back for part 3.
For sure.
The hour went by way too fast, dude.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, I appreciate you. But anyways, I'll let you go. You have a good night, and I'm sure we'll connect again soon. Yeah. And thanks everybody for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you very much.
Catch you later.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
Remember, friends, to always have fun, be curious, share, and enjoy what this line has to offer. Come for the toys, but stay for the friends. Good night, and thank you very much.